So for this question, it says consider the function f of x. F of x is 3x. Then it says consider g of x. G of x is f of x minus 2. And then when you plug that all in together, it's 3 of x minus 2. So we've got g of x, which is equal to 3 raised to the x. I said 3 of x. It's actually 3 raised to the x minus 2. And then it says, how will the graph be different from f? So how is the graph of g different than f? Can somebody guess before we graph it and double check? What is that minus 2 going to do to the graph? Huh? Yes, I think, but what do you mean by negative? Yeah, you're both right. It's going to move down. They're literally going to be the same graph, except one's going to be higher than the other. So if I graph pull up your graphing calculator, turn on your graphing calculators. All right, and then I'm going to go to y equals. And so for f of x, I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to say 3 caret to the x, right? And I guess so I matched my little markings here. I'm going to change this function to blue so there's no confusion. All right. And then I'm going to put in here, what do I put in here? 3 to the x minus 2, right? And what it sounds like you guys are saying is that the second graph will be the same as the first graph. It'll just be shifted down 2 units. And that's correct. So let's graph this bad boy and see. So the red graph is f of x, okay? And the blue graph will be right underneath it, and it'll be 2 units down. If that's in your way, you could just move it. I'll come move it in a second. Now, you might get a little nervous and think that they're going to cross. They're never going to cross. It's just, it'll look like it. But but basically, I just took this red one and shifted it down 2. And that's it. Now, just to further illustrate that, so let me take a screenshot of this. And then I'll just want to illustrate this in Desmos because it's really nice to see this stuff take place in real time. If I go to Desmos, and you guys don't need to do this, I just want you to kind of watch. I guess you could do it. I mean, if you want to open up a tab and go to Desmos, I guess you could. In fact, go ahead and do that. Open up a tab, type in desmos.com. DESMOS. And then I'm going to type in y equals 3 caret symbol x. Now I'm going to do one thing that's a little different. I'm going to say plus the letter C. Then it's going to ask me if I want to add the slider C. I'm going to say yeah. And so when that is equal to 0, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to click on this one more time. And I'm going to make my step just 1. That means it's going to count by 1. So when I make C equals 0, that's like saying 3 to the x plus 0, which is our original function here, 3 to the x, right? Now, when I change that, watch what happens as I drag this towards -2. I go to -1, what's the graph doing? It just shifts down. If I go to -2, it shifts down again. If I go to -3, it just, So as this number changes, it goes down. If I move in the positive direction, what does the graph do? It shifts up, but it's -2, so that's the graph, okay? And that's it.